since the lynching of Deepu Das in Bangladesh. He was killed not because he had anything to do with the politics of the country or with Sheikh Hasina or with the murder of a radical leader, Osman Hadi there. He was killed simply because he was a Hindu in Bangladesh. He was killed because the political chaos in the country gave the radical Islamists in Bangladesh an excuse to again attack the one community that has somehow managed to survive down the decades despite the relentless onslaught against them. And that is why today the anger and anguish over the lynching of Deepu Das bubbled over onto the streets. Across India, from Jammu to Telangana, from Kolkata to Delhi, people took to the streets with cries of justice. They asked why the world is silent. Why should it be only a problem of Indians, of Hindus in India or in Bangladesh? These people were asking how a senseless, brutal, graphic murder, every second of which was captured on camera, could take place in full public view, and the police and the government of Bangladesh could get away simply by saying, oh, the factory where Deepu Das worked didn't tell us. They didn't tell us in time. They say that the mob was so overwhelming that we simply couldn't rescue him. We could do very little. That Deepu was accused of blasphemy, and that enraged the mob beyond all control. The thing is, Deepu Das is just the face of 2025. The target is the Bangladeshi Hindu. A human rights group in Bangladesh has documented how between 2013 and 2021, yes, way before Sheikh Hasina was toppled, in that period, there were over 3,500 attacks carried out on the Hindu community in Bangladesh. This included 1,678 cases of vandalism and arson targeting Hindu temples. But things became downright hellish soon after the fall of Sheikh Hasina. Islamists tasted blood. They had a free run. There was nobody any longer to rein them in. Literally in the months that followed, 23 Hindus were killed and 152 Hindu temples were attacked. This is in the period between August 2024 and February 2025, and these are just the official figures. The casualties could be far greater. So when someone tells you that Deepu Das is merely an aberration, that he was just caught in a political crossfire, make no mistake, those people are lying. In fact, the tragedy is that even now, even after all of this, not just in Bangladesh, even here in our country, in India, it seems impossible for some people to speak up without caveats for the lives of Hindus. While some of them hem and haw or recede into a convenient silence, others outright call it a reaction to what is happening in India. That's right. Apparently, this poor factory worker, Deepu Das, was strung up like an animal, beaten and burnt because India has a majoritarian government. When you hear such arguments, don't you wonder whether this is just false equivalence or actually trying to give cover fire to an act of murder against a minority? And that's why today one asks the questions on which the buck should stop here. Why should only a handful of people be protesting against the death of Deepu Das and the lives of countless others who belong to the Hindu minority like him in Bangladesh? Why is this being made out into some kind of Hindu issue, a Hindu problem? A problem that could only be taken up by the Vishwa Hindu Parishad or the Bajrang Dal or the BJP or the so-called Hindu bodies? Why don't those who agitated against the imagined wrongs and excesses of CAA today also militate against the visible atrocities of a radical regime in Bangladesh, of the kind of people that are being given a free run under the tutelage and watchful gaze of Muhammad Yunus? If they can jam the streets saying "Kagaz nahi dikhayenge" in India, why can't they organize saying "Har aadmi ki jaan bachayenge"? Or is that for them Hindu lives are simply not human lives?